Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to do prediction time, all right, guys? So we're going to take a really early peek at the 55-man roster, okay? This is going to be a projection. This is serious? I couldn't do it. I could not pass it up. I was talking to Mike, the co-host of Frisco Report, about this cap. I wasn't going to get it, but it's cap mode here, man. You got to get it. So I got it. So let's get right into this video, guys. Here we go.
Oh, yes, it's that time of year. The early, super duper early 55-man roster projection 1.0. Let's get right into it, guys. All right, let's get to the most polarizing topic of the day, quarterbacks, and mainly Dak Prescott, all right? Will he be in virtual Cabo? Will he miss the virtual plane to virtual Oxnard? Okay, you remember that when we're all watching Zeke getting on the airplane and he didn't get on there? It was a big old thing. You remember that, guys? That was funny. But back to the topic here. Dak Prescott, obviously, he'll be the number one quarterback. They did sign insurance here, which is very smart on the Cowboys' part. I'm not saying that Prescott's going to hold out or anything like that. This is more for injury and that kind of thing. But like I said before, this is $1 billion company. You want to protect your investment, your brand, and that's with the backup quarterback, Andy Dalton. And then the 2020 7th-round pick, Ben DiNucci. Pretty much handpicked by Mike McCarthy, the quarterback whisperer. All right, so that's why he's going to be on this. I see them carrying 3. Like I said, we do have 2 extra spots here with the new CBA. That's why this is a 55-man roster. It's no longer 53. We do have the 2 extra slots, okay? Let's go to the next position. All right, now we're taking a look at running back, okay? You got Ezekiel Elliott making the team, obviously. Tony Pollard in the second year. I expect him to have a bigger leap under better coaching. All right, I think Mike McCarthy is going to utilize him better in this new system, along with Kellen Moore. I think they have a lot of ideas up their sleeve. I can't wait to see what they do with him. And then Rico Dowdle, okay, out of South Carolina. I think he makes a team. If he wouldn't have been a little bit, I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but he did have some injuries here and there in college. And I think that's why he kind of dropped in the draft. But he did have a draftable grade, but they got him as an undrafted free agent. So I think you're gonna see a common theme here where the roster's churning. All right, the roster's churning. You get a new campaign here with a new coach and staff, and they're gonna want to churn some things around here. You're not gonna, be status quo on the back half of your roster. Obviously, you have your primary cornerstone players that you're probably not gonna churn over, but the other areas, backups, and like I said, the second half of the roster, there will be churning. Okay, so I do see that in the running back position. So I have him making the team, and then obviously, fullback, I want to get rid of Jameez Olawale. I'm not impressed with him at all. And I think that's why they brought in Shewo Alanilua. Okay? I think that's why they brought him in out of TCU. They are listing him as a fullback on the website, DallasCowboys.com. So, listed as a running back. Cowboys have him specifically listed as fullback. So, that'll be Jameez Olawale's competition. Okay? And he can catch the ball. All right, he's a very good pass catching running back, fullback, whatever you want to call him. He has big size and a lot younger. Jameez is coming up on 30 years old, and with Shewo, you get him at I think 22 years old. So keep churning it over, okay? And I think you're just getting a better runner. You're getting a better athletic player, okay? So that's what I have there at running back. Let's go to the next position group. Okay, now we're moving on to wide receiver. Okay, Amari Cooper makes the team, obviously, coming off a new contract, second year of that new contract. Michael Gallup, he makes the team. Are people forgetting about him? I don't think they're forgetting about him. I just think that they're in love with the shiny new Ferrari in CeeDee Lamb, who's the number 3 receiver I have making this team. He's gonna be a big injection to this already high-powered offense. Pick your poison. All right, so who are you going to stop? You got a lot of playmakers on this offense. Great addition. I love that draft pick. Devin Smith, I think he's crafty enough to find himself a spot here. he is familiar with the West Coast jargon and that kind of language that McCarthy's gonna, inject into Kellen Moore's jargon as well. So he'll be familiar with that. It'll be a good idea to keep him around. Still has the speed, but kind of disappeared last season. So we'll see if he does make it. But for right now, looking at who we have and barring any other moves, I think he makes a team. And then I have the undrafted Aaron Parker making a move. All right, I think he's gonna make this team over John Vic Johnson. The lights came on for him. He dropped passes, just didn't look good. He'll really have to show up to make a push. But Aaron Parker, I think he'll do well enough to tie up one of these final wide receiver spots. And like I said, the overwhelming theme here is churning the roster. All right, the days of Cedric Wilson, Tavon Austin, these kinds of guys, Noah Brown, those days are gone. All right, McCarthy will keep, like I said, he'll keep certain players around, but he's gonna want to put his thumbprint on this and bring in his players, his type of players. All right, so expect this position group to have a little bit of a facelift as well, and it already has with CeeDee Lamb, but expect some more churning there at wide receiver. Let's go to the next position group. All right, and here we go with tight ends. Okay, Blake Jarwin has got the 3-year extension. He's going to get a second crack at the starting lineup, but this will be a short leash for him, in my opinion. If he doesn't show the big leap there with a second opportunity, the Cowboys will make a change here for 2021. But for right now, let's get behind our new tight end, and let's hope that Blake Jarwin is what we think he could be. All right, let's hope he is that. We need that to happen, okay? Blake Bell, the newly acquired former Kansas City Chief tight end, the Belldozer out of Oklahoma, former quarterback, tight end from Oklahoma Sooners, okay? Very physical. He's going to be in here. He could be used as an H-back, blocking type of H-back, so he's got a lot of blocking skills. Is a specialty. He can catch the ball. And then I have Sean McEwen, okay? McEwen. He's going to make this team. I have him bumping Dalton Schultz off this team. I just have not seen enough progression in Dalton's game. He did have some times where he kind of showed something and then he would go back to his old ways. Blocking was okay, not as punishing as it was when he was at Stanford. It's just that blocking style that was so good for him at Stanford. I just have not seen that at the next level at the NFL. Sean McEwen has really good blocking. For him to get undrafted, kind of a surprise for me. Doesn't have a lot of production, but he will block and he can catch the ball. He'll snatch it. He's not a body catcher, so this could be one of those diamonds in the rough, and you can build him up and develop him into this lineup. And I think you can get production out of him early on, okay? So I have 3 making it this year. Cowboys usually have kept 4. This time I'm rolling it back 1. We're going with 3. Let's go to the next position group. All right, and now we're getting to the beef of the offensive side of the ball, the O-lineman, okay? So here's who I have making the offensive line. 10 players. Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, Joe Looney, Brandon Knight, Connor McGovern, Cam Irvin, the newly signed free agent, and Adam Redmond. Okay, so 10 of these players, that's what they kept last season and the year before. Usually 10 is the sweet spot there for the linemen. So you need a lot of them, and you will need them. These guys, they do get nicked up here and there, especially if you're talking about Tyron Smith and Connor Williams. Connor Williams, I have him as the projected left guard, but I think they're going to want Connor McGovern to beat that spot out. Tyler Biadasz, they moved back into the 4th round to draft this player, not to sit on the bench. He is the projected center for me, okay? Now, obviously, there will be competition there, but I think where they want to get the most competition is at the left guard position. You're hearing rumors that maybe the Cowboys might kick the tires on Larry Warford, and that's for no surprise. Connor Williams, like I said, too finesse for me. He's close to getting that injury-prone tag. He will get it if he doesn't stay healthy this season, and then you're looking at moving on for 2021. But Connor McGovern, he can definitely fill that spot. He's better at a guard. He does have some center ability, but This is not why they drafted him. They want him to beat out Connor Williams and that kind of thing. So Joe Looney, he's a good little backup there for center and guard. Brandon Knight as well. I think he gives you good swing tackle. Cam Irvin as well gives you the same quality there, but you hopefully you're really hoping that he's not going to start. He's a former first round pick, and you can see why he's got the bust tag. Okay, he is a bust. Okay, so we've seen the Cowboys take flyers on some of these former first round picks. I have him making it right now, but I would not be surprised if ultimately he gets cut. Okay. But I do see them keeping these guys. Adam Redmond, Cowboys liked him more than I did, but this is a new staff. So maybe they keep him around, maybe they don't. Maybe they end up keeping one of the undrafted free agents over one of these players. So we'll keep an eye on it. But for right now, these are my 10 offensive linemen. All right, let's go to the next position group. All right, and here we go with the defensive linemen. Now we're on the defensive side of the ball. D-line, defensive ends, and defensive tackles. DeMarcus Lawrence, obviously. Gerald McCoy, the newly added free agent. Novell Gallimore, the third-round draft pick of the Cowboys. I will have his in the lab video this weekend, so keep an eye on that one. And then the other free agent we added, Dontari Poe. Okay. Aldon Smith, I have him making it. Randy Gregory. Both of these guys have applied for reinstatement. We'll see what happens there. Dorrance Armstrong makes the team. Bradley Anai, the 5th round steal of steals, he makes the team. Tyron Crawford, Joe Jackson, and Tristan Hill to round it out. Okay, so going deep here, they usually go with 10. I'm going with 11, but I could see where they go to 10. But there's a lot of interesting names here. Bradley Anai, I think he's going to make this team. Now, why are we going deep here? Because we really don't know what the commissioner has up his sleeve. Aldon Smith has been out of the league for a couple of years, but does the commissioner go into douche mode and suspend him for years ago previous incidents? It's possible. He could do that. He's done it to the Cowboys before. Could start out on the suspension list. Randy Gregory, same deal. We're hoping for the best. They did lighten up these substance abuse positive testings, and the threshold has been lowered, so or raised up or whatever, but it's not a sure thing. So the Cowboys need to keep an eye on this. The other area here I want to concentrate on is Tyron Crawford. The Cowboys want to keep him around. He's very injury prone. He's really beat up, shoulder, knee, Achilles. He's had everything that you could almost imagine as far as injuries. And will he complete the season? You got to have somebody in place. They love the position flex. They see him as a big locker room player. So, I think they want to keep him around for that leadership. But if you can get better, like I've said, you can get better. And hopefully the Cowboys are able to find a player to push some of these players here that have kind of been status quo players. Okay, so we'll see what they do there. Let's go to the next position group. Okay, now linebackers. Sean Lee, the general. Okay, Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Luke Gifford, Joe Thomas, and Francis Bernard. Okay, so the main vets are all coming back. Sean Lee's coming back on a 1-year deal. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, how's the neck? All right, is it really ready? We're hearing a lot of the talk. Now it's time to walk that. Okay, we'll see what happens there. Luke Gifford looked really good in the preseason, but then kind of got injured back to back. Got better, then came back, injured right out the gate in the first game back. So is he quickly getting an injury prone tag? Hopefully not. This guy really looked good in the preseason. I like the potential there. I'm hoping that he's your Sean Lee replacement, and you don't have to blow another pick on another linebacker. So let's hope for that. Okay, Joe Thomas, Mike McCarthy familiar with the player, and Francis Bernard, they really liked him. They gave him a draft grade. They got him undrafted. This guy is a big hitter, a pretty good linebacker, part of that really outstanding Utah defense of 2019. So I think he makes the team. Okay, let's go to the next position group. Okay, now we're looking at defensive backs. Okay, so Cheeto Wuze, Jordan Lewis, Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown, Reggie Robinson, Maurice Kennedy, Ha Clinton Dix, Xavier Woods, Donovan Wilson, and Darian Thompson. That's who I have making the team. Cowboys have carried 10 previously. I think they're going to do it here again. Okay. They do have, there's some names here that are missing. Some players, some people may like Worley over Kennedy. I like Kennedy. Comes from a better program there, Baltimore. I think he's better coached and ready to make a leap in his career. Okay, that's why I have him over Worley. That's just the truth of it all. Okay. Darren Thompson, I think, played well enough in spot duty, but you never know. I could see maybe one of these undrafted safeties coming in here and taking a spot. That's also possible. I know that they like the guy that they brought in here, and we'll go in a deep dive on him later in the offseason. But Xavier Woods, Clinton Dix are your incumbents. Donovan Wilson looked really, really good. A lot of people are forgetting how good of a preseason he had. Ball skills, intercepting the ball in almost every preseason game, looked good in practice and brought that into the game. You like what you see. He's getting his coach from the Aggies. He's now with the Cowboys. So connect the dots. Xavier Woods in a contract season. So we'll keep an eye on this. Okay. And Clinton Dix is on a 1-year deal as well. Okay. So that's what I have for the cornerbacks and safeties making this team. Let's go to the next position group. Okay, and then we have the special team specialists. I have LP, the long snapper, making the team. He's just solid, okay? Greg Zuerlein, I think he makes it over the other kicker. And the punter, I have to be determined. I know we have Chris Jones, but there's no way they're going to roll with him. He's gone downhill. He hasn't been the puntisher in a long time. Definitely not with his kick. So look for them to bring in somebody in here, and I think ultimately somebody else will win the punting position. All right, but that's it for the 55-man roster. Breaking down the numbers, I have 25 on offense and 30 on defense.
All right, guys, so that was the early 55-man roster prediction video. Prediction, projection, whatever you want to call it. It's there now. It's good to get it's kind of good to get a refresher on who's on the team, who has the potential to make the team. Draft picks, undrafted players, first and second year players, how do they stack up? Do they make the team? So, I went over, my thoughts, my ideas on who makes the team, but let me know who you think makes the team, guys. All right. Do you have another wide receiver here? Do you have another defensive lineman here? Do you have another DB here instead of this person? Let me know in the comments. If you have time, please post your 55-man roster prediction in the comments. All right, I want to read those, so make sure you put those in there. Shout out to all my members. J-Mac, shout out to you, brother. I know you're one of the latest members. Thank you very much. I know you've been with the channel for a while, but thank you to all my channel members, that kind of thing. So shout out to all subscribers. We're almost to 15K. We're just a few users away, so hit subscribe on this video. Like, subscribe, and share, guys, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace, everybody.